The film opens with one of the most impressive opening sequences in cinematic history. In the spring of 1936, a group of explorers ventured deep into the jungles of South America. When the group was stopping to check the map, one guy wants to betray and used a gun to threaten everyone. But before he had time to act, the leader had already shown up by whipping his hand with a whip. The traitor was so scared, he ran away into the vast forest. That brave leader was Indiana Jones. By this time he had become a famous archaeologist, regularly traveling the world in search of mysterious artifacts. Indiana and his companion Sabito go into a cave. They passed through sharp pitfalls filled with corpses and insects. All these obstacles were no problem for Indy. He found the vault containing the shiny golden statue. Indy carefully planned to fake the statue to trick the traps. Unfortunately, the trap still collapses, forcing the male lead and his friend to move as fast as possible. Indy and Sabito were separated by a very large space.
However, Sabito wanted the golden statue. Indy had to throw him the statue, but Sabito didn't give him the whip. Fortunately, the male lead still successfully escaped. He narrowly passed the trapdoor and discovered that Sabito had died. Indy quickly grabbed the statue and escaped. However, he was ambushed by his enemy, René Belloc. He snatched the statue back, intending to shoot, but Indy escaped in time and ran to his friend Jock's plane and escaping right before the arrows of the wild aborigines.
Returning to the US, still being as a university lecturer, but Indy still has pain about the ancient statue. He plans to collect some money to go to Belloc to get it back. However, his friend Marcus Brody come with two agents, who told Indy that the Nazis were raiding Egypt and mentioned the name of Abner, his old teacher. The male lead heard that and deduced that the Germans were looking for the Ark, which would make Adolf Hitler's army invincible. Indy agrees to join the new journey.
After a find of incredible historical significance, you're talking about the boogeyman.
He goes to a bar in Nepal run by Marion, the daughter of his teacher Abner, to collect a medallion that indicates the location of the Ark. Ironically, she is Indy's ex-lover, so the two greetings are not very cordial. Just as the pair were fighting, the Nazis, led by Special Agent Arnold Todt, entered the bar, attempting to steal the medallion. A battle filled with blood, fire and gunpowder broke out. Taking advantage of the chaos, Arnold spade the medallion. It burned so hot in his hand that he had to smother it with snow outside. Recently, Indy and Marion defeated the opponents, but the bar was burned to ashes. Marion accepted to cooperate with Indy.
Until I get back my $5,000, you're gonna get more than you bargained for! I'm your goddamn partner!
They arrived in Egypt and were supported by their friend Saleh. He reveals that the villain Belloc has now joined Germany. Even Hitler's troops forged a medallion from the burn on Arnold's hand. While Indy and Marion go around, they are chased by Nazi. By his superior fighting, the archaeologist quickly overcomes a series of waves of soldiers, but he cannot keep Marion safe. Standing still, watching her escort vehicle explode. Although no longer a couple, Indy is still heartbroken and desperate. Taking advantage of this, Belloc appeared to invite him to his side. Of course he failed.
You want to talk to God? Let's go see him together.
Saleh takes him to an old magician to help him decipher the messages on the medallion. On one face, it warns anyone who tries to approach the chest, on the other is information about Ra's staff, a tool to help locate the Ark. Indy and Saleh realize that the Nazis don't know the exact height of the staff because the burn on Arnold's hand only left one side of the medallion. Realizing they have advantages, the two went to Egypt. As always, Indy won the race. Things were even more complete when he found Marion still alive and well, imprisoned in a German concentration camp. Right after that, the male lead found the Ark. However, as soon as Indy managed to bring the Ark out, Belloc and his gang appeared to rob it again. He also forced Marion down, locking her and Indy in the crypt with a bunch of venomous snakes. Belloc's attempt failed, because as always Indy still found his way out by taking advantage of the weight of the statues. Having just escaped death, the two must be ready for action when the Nazis are preparing to use a plane to bring the chest to Germany. With extraordinary efforts, the couple Indy and Marion stopped the plot of the villains, forcing them to switch to Overland. In the midst of the scorching desert, the archaeologist takes down German soldiers one by one and then takes control of the truck before returning the Ark to safety. He even gave the Bellocs the last hit it and left them in anger. That night, Indy and Marion boarded a ship to bring the Ark back to America. The two made love thinking that the arduous journey had ended here.
Well, goddammit, Indy, where doesn't it hurt?
Here.
When he woke up the next morning, Indy realized the ship was surrounded by Nazi troops. It turned out that Belloc had sent troops to retrieve the artifact. By the support of the crew, Indy was able to escape and blend in with the Nazi soldiers when they were on an isolated island. The next morning Belloc led his troops to bring the chest to the test to see how powerful it was. Indy appeared, carrying a heavy rocket gun on his shoulder.
I'm gonna blow up the Ark, Renee!
However, our hero did not have the heart to shot when Belloc had caught his weakness. Indy does not dare to damage the artifact, because that's love is the reason of his life.
You want to see it open as well as I.
That night, the Nazis brings Indy and Marion to a dark cave, preparing for a historic moment. Just before the Ark opened, Indy remembered the vital rule that eyes should not be opened. It turns out that this artifact contains all the power of darkness, souls, flames and even lightning. Everyone who looked at them lost their lives, including Belloc. A terrible wind swept the space, sucking the life around it and then returning to the chest as if nothing had happened. In the end, only Indy and Marion survived. They were tired and exhausted, but they still gave each other a warm hug. Soon Indy and his friend Marcus were at the government office confronting the White House people about the location of the Ark. The two constantly warn about the terrifying power of this artifact, and it seems that the Americans are aware of it. The Ark is being hidden in a heavily guarded area. Around it, lots and lots of consignments have the same shape, so no one could find it.